A tropical cyclone to the north and a cold southerly in the south. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us for our Tuesday weather video. There's a lot to talk about with the storm up here to the north. Now, at the time that we recorded this, it wasn't yet named. However, the storm has already formed according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and that's a global organization out of the US government. And so they basically said this is already now a tropical cyclone. We're waiting for the Fiji MetService to name it, which is very likely to be today, Tuesday. And the tracking as a Category 2 storm, very close to New Caledonia. There is a chance it could even get to Category 3. That's the severe side of things. But at this stage, Category 2 as it tracks along here. And then as it comes into the New Zealand area, things get more complicated. There's a large high off the screen that's going to roll in across the New Zealand area. That will play a role at guiding exactly where that storm will end up. So that's going to be the theme of this video, is trying to work out where this might go. And we're really still a couple of days away from being able to work that out. Yesterday, the modelling showed New Zealand not at a risk. Today, there is definitely some risks for rain and wind. The other feature at the other end of the country is the southerly. So we'll switch over to the animated wind map for this one. This shows the storm up here to the north, or the tropical air that's feeding into it. But at the other end, we've got a southerly feeding that low south of New Zealand, and it's that southerly that's about to come in. At the moment, we've got a northerly for Tuesday, and that will lift temperatures up right across the east and the south of both islands. Temperatures in the South Island, though, are going to really drop tomorrow in that southerly. Daytime highs will be more than 10 degrees lower than they are today. Maybe only around 11 degrees as your top temperature as you go through Wednesday and maybe Thursday as well. So that means there'll be some snow up on the mountains and ranges. So there is a bit of rain on the way. It is not as much as you might want for those of you in the south. The colouring down here shows around about 10 to 15 millimetres coming through. Some of you might have less than that, unfortunately, because of the ranges and hills in the way. But that's generally what we're seeing, and the numbers taper right off as you come into the Catlins and out towards North Otago, and it drops even further. There might be no rain for Christchurch other than just a spit or a light shower, and very low rainfall for the eastern side of the North Island and the top as well. This is only the next 24 hours from 7 o'clock Tuesday morning to 7 o'clock Wednesday. So let's take a look at the forecast. Here we are for Wednesday at lunchtime. There is the storm, tropical cyclone up there next to New Caledonia. Category 2 is expected, but I think Category 3 is possible. Certainly the way the isobars look and the air pressure is on that one. In the New Zealand area, there is the blue line, and a real change coming for those of you in the South Island with that big temperature drop with the southerly coming through. Rainfall, though, as we just talked about, not massive. Green showing around about 10 millimetres and the blue area is around 5. So 5 to 10 millimetres coming through with that southerly. On the west coast, the totals are a little bit higher, and the North Island still has westerly, so it's not too cool for you. By Thursday, though, that cooler change arrives right up the eastern side of New Zealand. So Hawke's Bay, which has a high on Wednesday of around 26, 27 degrees inland, maybe even higher than that if the sun's out, will be very different on Thursday with a high of 16 degrees as that southerly comes in. So the whole country gets that cooler change. But it's because of this gigantic high pressure zone that is around about 6,000 kilometres wide. Australia is about 4,000 k's wide, so this goes from the western side right over to New Zealand. So our cyclone up there has got a bit of a problem. How does it drop south when there's a big high pressure zone in the way? So that's the big feature. So the storm stalls on Friday. It's not moving very fast. It's out at sea by the looks of it. So New Caledonia don't have to worry too much, we don't think. Although obviously stay up to date with your local authorities. The high pressure zone here is getting bigger and stronger, which will limit how far that low pressure zone can move. But here's the catch. As we go into the weekend, the race is on. Which pressure system moves the fastest to the east? Because if this high moves quickly to the east, it will allow that low pressure zone to drop southwards. If it slows down, the high stays to the north, or it moves out to the east. And so as we get into the Sunday forecast, the current thinking is that the high will balloon out quickly to the eastern side. That's quite a big shift from the Saturday map, so I think there's still an area here for it to work itself out. Certainly it looks as though it drops down into the Tasman, and therefore the northeasterlies pick up around northern New Zealand. And then Monday of next week, potentially, Very windy northerlies coming down. Probably not too problematic based on this model. The worst winds will be out here, right around the centre. The air pressure is very deep, so it is a stormy system, and the heavy rain, mostly out at sea, missing a lot of these northern areas that could really do with some more rain, although we don't want it in flood fashion, just some nice gentle rain to set on in. And Southland, of course, really wants it, so if we can get this low to come down to the south, that could be good news. But I wouldn't lock it in just yet. That low could easily end up on the eastern side of New Zealand or even staying north of us. And I think it won't be till about Thursday and Friday this week that we'll be closer to locking that in. So for now, that's all from me. Don't forget, you can take a look at all the global models are crunched into one forecast that you can get from our hourly and 10-day forecasts at both weatherwatch.co.nz and over at ruralweather.co.nz as well. That's all from me. We'll see you tomorrow.